I have the best family in the world. You can argue with me on that. I think my family's the greatest. I love everyone in my family. My aunts, my cousins, my parents, my brother. Everybody in my family I absolutely love. They're just awesome people. Okay? When I was little, I had family in North Carolina. So I would see them occasionally. They would come in for Thanksgiving, Christmas. Well, when I was littler, my cousins, they're like 10 years older than me or so. They were in high school and college. Well, they had winter break, so they would come in for a couple weeks. We'd hang out. We'd have a great time. It was awesome. Like, those memories I'll never forget. Just eating pizza, playing video games. Like, that's what we did. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Very rarely, though, we would go to North Carolina to see them because we have more family around here, so it made sense for them to travel to us, whereas all of us traveled to them. Okay, so I remember going to North Carolina a couple times as a kid, but not much. But when I was younger, the main trip I remember going out there is I have two cousins out there. His name's Sean, and then a female named Stacia. And Sean is just so cool. Like, to this day, like, Sean works out of New York. Like, he's very successful businessman, married, just had a baby. Like, I love Sean. I love all my cousins, but the story's about Sean, so I need to keep it for you guys. Just an amazing man, okay? So when I was younger than you guys, like Awana's age or whatever, I went up there, and while I was up there, it was summertime. It was nice weather. He had to cut the grass, okay? Now, his yard was big, bigger than my home yard, bigger than most yards that I had seen at the time. And his yard, front yard, side yards, and backyard, it was big. Just a huge, huge yard, right? Well, he was about to cut grass, and I just always wanted to be around Sean. Like, I just wanted to be near him, right? So he gets on the lawnmower, and his yard was so big, he couldn't use a push mower. It would take too long. So he had to use a riding lawnmower. Now, Sean was college age right now. If I'm not mistaken, we went up there for his college graduation. It might have been high school graduation, so just kind of figure out that age. Well, I just love being around him so much, right? So he goes to get on this lawnmower to mow the lawn. Now, my mom's up there. Now, my mom cares about me. Obviously, she cares about me. And she sees that, okay, and I'll never forget this moment for the rest of my life. I'll never forget. Sean's about to cut the yard, and I want to be next to Sean. So what do? Is I say, Sean, let me go with you. Let me ride with you on that lawnmower. And there's only one seat, right? And he says, well, yeah, buddy, come on up. So Sean takes me and is hoisting me on his lap while he's riding the lawnmower. But here's the amazing thing, is Sean is holding me tight. In this lawnmower, this riding lawnmower, if you know anything about them, they can be a beast of a machine. Especially a little kid like myself. If I get flown off of that, that's body parts, maybe life, if that thing runs over me. And I'll never forget this. So Sean grabs me, and he's holding me tight, and we're going around. But here's the thing. He's got a big yard. It wasn't all flat, and it wasn't just grass. So there were trees, so I'll never forget. Sean was like, all right, buddy, get ready. And we would go, and we would go around these trees in his front yard because he cut it so great. And then we would go, and there were sticks, and he would mulch them up. You can't stop and pick up sticks. So Sean would hold me, and then the ride would get a little tight. And then I remember my mom, just a distinct image of my mom screaming, Andy! Andy, no! She didn't want me on this ride with Sean because my life was at risk. It was at risk. If Sean, being how young he wasn't an adult, if he would let go of me, I could fall and the lawnmower could kill me. So she was looking out for my best interest, but Sean just kept holding on tighter. He was like, oh, I'm fine, Jay, I got him. So we would go around, and all of a sudden we would hit rough paths. There were trees that we had to dodge. And if that's not the image of God, I don't know what is. He's holding on to us, and he's saying, I got you. I got you. You're going to run into sticks. You might have to dodge a tree, but he's got you. You're going to have people screaming, saying, look, I care about you. Be careful out there. But he's got you. He's got you. So if you're a child of God, in this life, as you're rolling through life, it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be smooth. But he's got you in his arm, and he's not going to let you go. And as a kid, I would just close my eyes because the breeze. I never really pulled down the window of a car and felt the breeze in my face, but I just felt it because this thing went fast. So I'd feel the breeze, I'd close my eyes, and then I remember, I'll never forget this, I closed my eyes, And I was just so happy to be with Sean and just to feel him squeeze me tight. And a little of it was jealousy because my brother didn't get to enjoy this like I did. So I was just like, oh, this is amazing, this is amazing. And then all of a sudden I'd feel, uh-oh. And he'd be like, hold on, buddy. Because I knew it's going to be rocky. So this life, it may go smooth for a while, guys, but it will be rocky. It will be rocky, but you've got to trust and you've got to believe that God's got you. He's got you. If you're his child, he's got you. And that's the beautiful thing about God is he's got you. It's a relationship. He's got you. You're safe in his arms. And in the end, I'll never forget the end because you're on the mower. I saw my mom yell and she cared. She was worried about me. But with the mower, you really couldn't hear. I just remember her yelling my name because she's got a loud voice. And so I remember when we were done, she was just like, Sean, I can't believe you did that. He's like, oh, he is fine. I got him. And I just ran off like it was nothing. Because here's the thing. At the end of your journey with God, you're going to walk off like there's no worries, there's no care. Because that's exactly what heaven's going to be like. Perfect peace and happiness. You're not going to have any worries. You're not going to look back and say, you're not going to get off that lawnmower and say, oh my gosh, that was rocky. You're happy. You're off. You just got to spend that time. So when you spend the time with God and then you get to heaven, you're like, let me praise you. Let me worship you. You kept me safe. You never let go. You never forsook me. God says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. That's what a relationship with God's like, guys.